And this week, we have seen just how scary these storms can be, but the aftermath of those storms can be just as dangerous. A Hendricks County family now grieving after 27-year-old Nathan Merritt came into contact with fallen power lines near Danville. He died at the scene. Tonight, our Logan Gay talked with his loved ones about their loss and what they hope it can teach others about not taking life for granted.
It's not supposed to happen this way. I was supposed to go first.
The family of 27-year-old Nathan Merritt are still trying to come to grips with how their lives changed forever within seconds on Wednesday.
It sounded like he got blown away by a tornado, like just taken, and that's what it sounded like. But I didn't know it was power lines.
Nathan's wife Amber says he was on his way home after meeting up with her at a Walmart. She says at the time it was pitch black and pouring rain.
He couldn't see anything and he was scared. And he said, just stay on the phone for a few. And I told him, I said, you need to pull over if you can't see.
But before he could pull over, he accidentally ran over a down power line and his truck caught fire. Seeing the flames, his sister says Nathan stepped out of his truck and onto a live wire. Amber was on the phone the entire time and heard everything.
I cannot tell you the pain that I feel of having to remember this for the rest of my life. But the last moans and like yelling and him saying no, no, no will haunt me for the rest of my life. And I didn't know what was happening.
She and Nathan's family searched for him for 3 hours. They eventually made it to County Road 75 West, where police and other first responders were already on scene. They waited 45 minutes to find out any news about Nathan, but for them, it felt like a lifetime.
Something's really wrong. It's been long enough. They should have called by now. They should have found something out. And I knew.
Police later confirmed the man lying near the truck was Nathan. Now, instead of seeing him sitting around this dinner table, they look at pictures on their phone when they want to see his face. Or his 3-year-old son, who they say looks just like him.
When he walked in a room, he lit it up.
I was just with him. And if I had known that the storms were going to be this bad, I would have kept him there with me a little bit longer.
But just like most priceless things, one may measure life by quality, not quantity.
Never take life for granted.
Do not take it for granted.
I thank God that God gave me him as long as I had him. I love him so much.
And that will never change. In Danville, Logan Gay, 13 News.
And the EF2 tornado that hit Hendricks County caused widespread damage. We were on scene as emergency responders worked to free a woman trapped in what was left of a warehouse in Brownsburg. Well, tonight, for the first time, we're hearing from a member of the fire territory who was part of the rescue team.
They can hear her and they can hear her screaming and yelling, but they couldn't see her. So they had to do some pretty significant digging to get her out.
A woman trapped under the rubble of Sur La Table warehouse on Northfield Drive.
It was a big piece of concrete that was laying at an angle, and she was down underneath that.
A confirmed tornado with 120-mile-per-hour winds caused a concrete wall and part of the roof to collapse.
We know that she's alive. We know that she's in there, and we're just trying to get in there and get her out as quick as possible, but as safe as possible as well.
Firefighters concerned about the safety of the structure for her sake and theirs as well. 2 hours later, the woman emerged awake and alert with scrapes and bruises.
They were able to get her on the cot, get her in the ambulance, do a pretty quick assessment on her and get her to a hospital to be checked out.
The chief of operations at Brownsburg Fire Territory says they haven't seen damage like this in his time there, but they're more than prepared with their training.
We're always going to be there to help. We're always going to help, if they're sick or they're injured or no matter what. That's why we're here.
Green Street Pub and Eatery is really just across the street from where the storms blew through Brownsburg overnight. So once the owner realized his restaurant was safe and everyone inside was okay, he decided to give back.
So we're offering first responders today to come in and just get a free meal on us. They're working long hours, probably been out all night, and they're probably tired and hungry, and we have food. So
Tom Weaver says Wednesday night storms really put things into perspective.
If our house would have been hit, they would have come into us. So we need to do something for them. I feed people, so I was like, I can feed you guys to, a little form of thank you.
All for the men and women who work to keep Brownsburg safe.
You don't have to do it, but you do, and you do it willingly, and it means a lot to a lot of people.
In Brownsburg, Samantha Johnson, 13 News.
This place has seen lots of storms over the years, but obviously nothing to this extent.
Hessian Farms is quite the homestead in Hendricks County.
My dad bought this farm in 1950.
Property owners Matt and his wife Debbie are now left with this.
When you stand right here, you can basically see the path that it came through because it took everything that way.
An EF2 tornado wiping out barns and scattering debris.
There was two pickups out in that one that got destroyed, and there was a gazebo on the other side of the house. It's across the road now.
And the Hessians weren't the only ones hit, close to 56th and Ronald Reagan Parkway.
It flattened it, and then a lot of that debris came this way. This side of the house, it blew a window out, and that's where I was sitting on the couch, and I had glass all over me.
Matt says the buildings will be replaced. His home was mostly spared. The memories still exist, and thankfully no one was hurt.
We'll clean up and patch everything back together and get ready to plant corn.
Next on WTHR Plus after the break.
It comes up so fast from that river over there that if you're not gone, you're stuck.
And I have never seen a storm like the one we had last night.
And that was the case for many in central Indiana Wednesday, especially residents in Carmel.
We saw that there was like a debris marking, and I looked at the map and I'm like, oh, that's our home, that's Oswell.
A tornado ripped through the city, taking down trees, power lines, and damaging businesses like Oswell Fitness.
When I first pulled in the parking lot this morning, I just saw the front half of the building and I was like, oh, I think we're fine. And then I turned the corner and I slowly started to realize that I think we have a little bit more damage than I was initially anticipating.
Once the sun came up here in Carmel, people had a better view of what the damage looked like from overnight. And for some, it's replacing just a few glass panels, but for others, it'll be a much bigger project. Like the strip mall across the street, or this Richmond electronics store a couple blocks away from Oswell's. Both now without walls and debris lying around. Grace Huber says their neighbors were quick to help clean up.
The amount of people who have pulled in the parking lot, or even just from the moan on, they said, hey, are you okay? Can I do anything? Like, it's really heartwarming to see that people are coming out and showing support to the community.
A community coming together to rebuild. In Carmel, Anna Chalker, 13 News.
This is what's left of a barn just northwest of Muncie. As you can see, this roof toppled off of the supporting walls and onto the ground. Thankfully, no one was inside the barn, but we do want to show you a video that we shot earlier of a home just down the road. You can see the garage and part of the roof are just gone. The family that we spoke to there says that they were inside when the storms rolled through, and they sheltered in place, scared as they saw the destruction unfold.
Our church has already found a place for us to live because obviously that's not inhabitable right now. So we've got a great community, and we'll be fine, and it's just going to be a long process.
Now, the Delaware County Sheriff's Office tells me that they're working closely with the county's emergency management agency. There were some difficulties at the start, given that there was no daylight to assess storm damage.
Being dark and raining as heavy as it was really hard to assess what we really had. I mean, we had a lot of power lines down across the roadway, so you had to be very careful not to, drive right into a telephone pole or drive right into a line. So, we had to be careful in that aspect.
Meanwhile, Indiana Michigan Power is looking to restore electricity to 90% of homes in the Delaware County area within the next few days, and maybe even as soon as tonight. In Delaware County, Alex Almanza, 13 News.
Where I'm standing is excess high water coming off of the Big Blue River behind me. And while the rain has moved out of Shelby County, this is still going to be a problem for the residents here for the next few days. A problem that caused many to evacuate and others to be trapped in their homes this weekend.
It comes up so fast from that river over there that if you're not gone, you're stuck.
Even before the Big Blue River reached its crest, crews quickly had to get people out. But as soon as they were out, they needed help finding a dry, safe place to go.
If we have the community support to help these people out that's lost everything.
That support is here at the Shelby County Fairgrounds through the Red Cross. This weekend, around a dozen people have already been helped at the shelter. Volunteers say while they hope to give everything people need for the time being, county departments have also stepped up and helped.
We had the water rescue team here yesterday asking if there's anything we can, do for you. And I said, that's wonderful that you even stopped by here. And so, yes, the community has been a great, great help for this.
Whether it's to provide food, dry clothes, or a place to sleep, volunteers say they will stay in the county until the water goes down.
Don't be embarrassed about having to seek some shelter or some help for now. Take advantage of the Red Cross and let them help you.
In Shelby County, Anna Chalker, 13 News.
The Flat Rock River here at Mill Race Park continues to climb. It's approaching its crest tonight, and as you can see, this park is now prime lakefront property. And people that live here in Columbus say they haven't seen the water get this high in quite some time.
Skipper Green Montgomery.
Roger Montgomery was out walking his dog Sunday along the new shoreline of Mill Race Park in Columbus.
Oh, this is wild. This is nuts. Like I say, we walk our dog here every day, and tons of people walk around here, and to see this is just amazing.
He's lived here for 13 years and says the water has never gotten this high since. A playground is now a water park. The amphitheater, now an island surrounded by river water. And as the Flat Rock River crests Sunday at 16 feet, dozens of roads in and out of Columbus remain closed, including State Road 46 on the west side.
Finding alternative routes for our residents has been a challenge, particularly if you try a route and find that also is a water-covered route.
But some have ignored those warnings. Columbus Fire has responded to several water rescues this weekend. People in areas surrounded by water or cars stuck while trying to cross.
Thankfully, we've not experienced any injuries to any of our local residents, so that's a very positive thing.
Water reaching places impacted by the last major flood, one that Bartholomew County took notes from.
We learned a lot from the flood of 2008. We are really prepared for what roadways are going to be impacted during a flood event like this one.
And until the water here begins to go down over the next few days, county emergency crews want to stress to stay off water-covered roads and roads that are closed and to listen to those travel alerts. In Bartholomew County, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.